Alright everybody, welcome to another edition of Fantastic Homes of Tamriel. Today I'm taking you on a tour of SwanS0ng's Hunding's Palatial Hall. This is by and far the best Hunding's house I've seen, in my opinion. So I hope you guys will really enjoy this as well. And if you do enjoy it and you like the way the house is set up, be sure to leave some comments, show some love for SwanS0ng. So anyway, here we go. Right at the start here, you can see the two Grave Watcher statues. Nice, nice and evenly spaced, flanking the entranceway nicely. You can also see there's some bluish purple glow coming from behind them. Those will be from crystals. So obviously this part of the house would look much better at nighttime. But this house looks fantastic during the day as well, with all the nice shrubbery and other floral things going on. So we're going to walk around here, the outside first. They've done a nice setup here with these low hedges and the bushes. Like, it's just very neatly, very nicely set up. Meshes well with the existing pathway. Here as well, we've got these horseshoe shaped hedges. We've got a couple stools by the lantern. Just a really great use of the existing pathway and kind of building around that and just making everything flow and look natural. We've got this lovely tree here with the monkey placed nicely in the tree. Obviously, the monkey in a tree is pretty natural. It just works extraordinarily well. You can't beat a monkey in a tree, you know? So another tree here. These trees are, very flowery. Very welcoming, very inviting, and they look fantastic, especially in the daytime. And as we come through the back here, we can see some more, flowery bushes. We've got another statue here. And it's nicely centered. It's right along the path. It's just very well placed, very well thought out. And coming on back here towards the stable, it's actually fairly unremarkable in the stable, but that's all right. Sometimes just simple is good. This well up here is well placed. I mean, it looks absolutely believable. You've got this little bit of path that leads up to it. It's right next to the stable, which is pretty logical. Obviously, you'd want to get water for your mounts, so that, it really just works. You've got a camel in a nice desert setting. That's cool. One of the camel's legs is floating. Unless you angle around, though, like it does hide pretty well in the existing grass there. We've got we've got a horse here. We've got a cart with hay. Again, it's very simple stable, but it really does work, and I really do dig the wells right next to it. And we got some more trees here. And looking up, you can see we've got like a Night Mother statue there with some crystals set into it for some glow. This is another spot that would look really, really fantastic at night. But as I said before, this house looks really great during the day as well, which is why I'm here now. So we've got this fountain here. This is the fountain you can get from the achievement vendor in Vardenfell. And the middle is it's actually done up really nicely. The ivy plants set up in it. It's very well done. We got a crystal near the top providing some glow. Definitely tell a lot of care went into placing plants in this fountain. Okay, I think it's extraordinarily well done. It looks really good. We've got another statue here. This one is just kind of chilling under the walkway here. And we've got the light and shadow skull candle at the base of it, which is, you know, a pretty obviously good thematic choice. Works really well, and again, it's going to give it a really nice look at night. So we're going to take just a quick peek. I'm just going to show you that there's not anything particularly exciting or really at all going on along the beach. This is an understandable choice, as you know, this property is quite large in terms of the amount of space, but only gets 600 items. So there's not a lot along the beach. There is a custom bit of structure over here, which we're going to take a look at as we go by. So at a distance, you can see the Argonian string lights. You got this kind of custom little like deck, patio, lounge, party area. Looking at the string lights, see we're attached nicely to the tree on this end, and attached beautifully to the end of the awning there. Like, that's really, really well done. String lights can be a real pain to do right, but SwanS0ng has done a beautiful job hanging those. We've got this fish dish sitting nicely on the table there. We've got some fish roasting on the fire, nicely skewered. And, you know, we've got our keg and a couple mugs there. Some seating, and again we're going to see beautifully placed string lights, really, really well done. So that's really fantastic. We'll just take a quick look out over the water. Right, nothing going on out that way. So we'll head back up here. I'll give you a glimpse around the side of the house here, and then we'll head up into the tower before finally heading indoors. So looking over this way, where we can see that right next to the entrance, in the direction we didn't look, we've got a merchant set up. We've got a horse and a cart. We've got a little stand. So we're going to take a quick look at that, and then we're going to head back to where we just came from, catch the rest of the outside in the tower. Alright, so taking a look, we do see that the cart is not, it needs to be tilted forward just a bit, just to get those legs on the ground. Aside from that though, I mean, the cart itself is nice. I like the way that it's angled. I like the horse next to it in the shade, kind of resting. The stall is nicely set up. We've got the fish well hung, radishes hung. Everything's placed nice and neat. And you got these baskets and crates and a bag. Very nice, very believable merchant setup. And it's worth noting also we've got a lion medallion over the entrance door. That's not default. So I'm going to break out of my walk here, speed through this just a little bit so I don't have pointless video. And here we've got the Zira Statue sitting in the pool. We've got some wedding blossoms floating on there as well. This is another little spot, like most of the statues we've seen in this house, that will look really, really great at night. Still looks fantastic during the day, but really, really great at night. We've got some candles on the corners of the statue as well, which I think is an excellent choice. Works, you know, thematically and visually. And so coming around the tower here, we do see we've got a gargoyle perched may see ivy on the tower, very nicely placed. Kind of, you know, it really brings the place to life a bit. And inside here we've got a little crafting area set up. You can see the Cragglorn sword sconce on the wall on either side. And just a nice, neat little crafting area. And we'll head up. So at the top of the tower we've got a nice little seating area here. We've got this hibiscus plant with looks like a bush under it in this bowl and this table. This table that is actually 2 tables put together. And we have a bench on any side of it, which just looks really, really great. Very well done. We've got Redguard chandelier there hanging, nicely placed, and another one similarly placed on the opposite side. So that's great. From here we can catch a view. We can see that the roof is going to be a very nice and interesting place to visit. We're going to be accessing that from the interior of the house. We'll be checking that out later. That'll actually be the last thing we see. So we'll just take a quick view out this way. You can see a bit of the other side of the roof. And of course down into the courtyard where we came from. So we're going to head back down. I'm going to turn my speed up. And we're going to breeze through to the front entrance. And then we will see what it looks like on the inside. Of course I already know, having already been here, but we're going to show you all what it looks like on the inside. Alright, so again, as I mentioned at the top, we've got the Grave Watcher statues here on either side of the entrance. And in the middle here, on this courtyard, what we see here is the Dark Brotherhood stained glass that was on the luxury vendor some time ago, set beautifully into the ground. There is a little bit of rise. That's largely because the ground is not completely even. As you can see, in some spots it's level, some spots it's a little up. But in any case, visually this is absolutely stunning. This is a fantastic use for the stained glass. It has some natural light to it. It's great. Obviously, stained glass works great on walls, but it works great as a floor as well. So I think that was a really excellent choice. We've got the arced, curved, whatever it's called, Redguard bench here, being used to create a planter area for this tree and these bushes, which looks absolutely fantastic. And again, you see the same thing on this side. So I mean, these are definitely not like 100% unique uses. And for these items, we definitely see this from time to time. However, I think used in this way on this property is really great. It's already a Redguard themed house, so the Redguard curved benches naturally meld with the existing structure, makes it look like it absolutely belongs. It's just really well thought out, really well done. We got a pretty basic little awning with a couple seats here. Nothing too special, but just filling that space. As I said earlier, there is a ton of space in this house and not a ton of item slots. So you kind of have to do little things like this to just give a little life to the space, but not eat up your item slots. And now for the interior. So right at the entrance here, we definitely see we got a bit of a throne room. Pretty basic throne room. Nothing terribly extravagant. We've got the Redguard fire pit here. We've got some pillows, nicely and neatly, well, nicely placed, not neatly, but intentionally, as if they've been used, kind of, but not messy either. Well placed. These benches at an arc or at an angle here, with carpets matching their angle. It creates a really nice visual. Obviously you have your throne centered. And we've got the tree tapestry behind the throne. A couple red guard curtains on either side. It's just really a really balanced space. It works really well. We see on either side of the room, we see the hanging red guard pots being used as planters. And we got some nice flowers in those. And we'll head over to this side first. We got a bookcase, got a runner. So we've got the enchanting and the alchemy crafting area over here. Pretty typical stuff you'd expect to see in these areas. You get the poison maker's cabinet, you get your vials, skull, things like that. Nothing wrong with the classics. They work. They fill the space well. So it's good stuff. Here we've got a shelf. We've got a few books on it. We've got a red guard. I think that's a Baroque vase up top. Hourglass. We definitely do see a lot of red guard stuff. I mean, red guard stuff is some of the best looking stuff in game. This is a red guard property, so naturally it works. So this is a very neatly set up space. Typical, I mean, clearly a dining space here. Some wine racks, no wine in them, probably a matter of items. We've got an urn here. It's nice and gold. Another, we got a kind of a gold vase there. We're just seeing space that's well filled. Thematically it works. Not a lot of wow here. I believe the real wow factor in this house altogether was definitely going to be outside, and that's all right. We've got 3 shrines set up here on the sigil stands. And I'm going to turn my speed up just a bit as we head to the opposite side of the house over here. And over here we see we've got a bar. You know, got a couple stools. We've got a couple bottles of glass. Nothing hiding in the bar. We do have keg here with a rack or box or something set into it. This is interesting. I don't think it's bad. We do see these kegs here set into the wall, so it's like you got these wall taps, which I think that's fantastic. And a couple mugs there as well, and the counter also set in just a bit there. And over this way, we can see what is quite obviously the kitchen. Get a little seating for 2 here at the front. We've got some food laid out on this table here. We've got our grill going with some kebabs, some soup, some other stuff. And we got a little prep area, fish, potatoes, carrots. We've got barrel racks being used as general shelving, and in addition to having a barrel in it. See some bread and some radishes. We do notice that the hanging radish there is floating with just a little bit there, but still not too bad. Some meat hanging, and we've got some barrels and bags and a couple baskets of food. We've got our cooking crafting area in the form of the cooking fire here. So I'm going to turn my speed up again. We're going to head upstairs. We've got a couple banners, well 3 banners as we come up the stairs, and they're staggered to kind of, you know, rise as you rise up the stairs. Which is fun and looks great. We see these Khajiit curtains blocking our view of the center. Also, they look fantastic. Khajiit style meshes extremely well with Redguard, I feel. The color schemes are very similar. Just the general like textures and patterns are also very compatible. So I think that was an excellent choice there. We got our bank area set up here. We got a safe box and thieves trove sitting there, and some chests. Pretty standard banker stuff. Some coins, feather and ink blotter, some paper. It looks good. From a visual and thematic standpoint, I really like the way that they've split their merchant up, their banker up, and their crafting up. From a practicality standpoint, I don't like it, but from a purely decorative standpoint, I think that's far more believable. And it, especially with the NPCs, the merchant, the banker, I think splitting them up really can help make your house feel alive. Having NPCs that are moving about a little bit at different parts of the property, I think is valuable. Now we've got a bedroom here. Pretty basic, very Redguard. But yeah. So heading through here. Again, sheet curtains, blocking that middle part off. Got a Redguard tapestry there on the wall. Got runners here along the floor, and oh, what's this? We've got an open curtain. So we check this out, and we see that they've constructed very nicely constructed some steps for us that allow us to walk up and down. And what we've got here is a Dark Brotherhood area. Basically, we've got the Daedric throne. We've got the Lanterns of Anguish. We've got the Dark Brotherhood candelabras. We've got skulls. We've got skull sconces. We've got the ledger here. We've got the hearts. We've got another skull of flowers, and the whole ritual set up here. Candles of silence. Just really great Dark Brotherhood stuff. And they use the Daedric platforms to build this space. I think this is fantastic. This is one of the parts of the house that was really kind of wow for me. I really I like when people take existing spaces and really make them new, adding a floor where there wasn't a floor before, adding a ceiling where there wasn't a ceiling. Things like that are, I think, one of the real beauties of the entire housing system in Elder Scrolls. It always makes me really happy to see people doing things like that and doing it well in this case. So very well done on this area. And looking over here, we see another fairly standard basic kind of bedroom area. But again, like standard and basic is not necessarily bad. If it's well done and there's some wow factor somewhere else, and it's also not entirely or really at all default. I mean, a lot of the furniture is Redguard, so yes, a lot of this furniture would be found in the furnished version of this house, but the placement on said furniture pieces is not exactly standard, which is the biggest thing. So now I have to remember which exterior exit's actually going to take us to the roof. And it appears I've gotten it on the first guess, which is fantastic, especially since I should have already known, and part of me did. Anyway, we are now headed up to the roof. So we've got the wonderful walkway here, built with the very basic planks. The really nice thing SwanS0ng's has done here is you know, anchoring the edges of it here with the stone slab, and giving us a railing. It's really nice when you have a railing and there's not as big a risk of just running off the edge and falling to your death. So bonus points for that. And the rooftop area here is just, it's you know, just decorated with vegetation. We got this hibiscus in the pot. We've got the hedges here with the purple flowers inlaid to them, and we've got this trellis. You know, some more plant and floral stuff here, and a little bit of seating under the awning. And here we've got the Argonian lattices turned sideways to build a sort of fence. We've got some ivy on them. We've got these Hope of Rivendell street lights, which are fantastic, and you can look down into the courtyard and you see more trees. We've got these sun and moon tiles, the moon and sun phases, inlaid into the ground here, which works really well. And over here we've got kind of like a glass garden. We've got, you know, glass crystals seemingly growing out of this pot and that pot, and we've got, you know, the glass crystals here surrounding some trees. We've got the colored crystals mixed in there as if they're mixed in such a way as if they're part of the normal glass crystals themselves, which I think is a really really neat way to mix in that light, is to just take the fact that those crystal shapes work with the existing shapes of the glass crystals, and just kind of shoving them in there. That's really well done. The trees themselves provide life from the falling petals. And we've got the dwarven orrery here, with a plant set into it. And of course a little seating area here. So yeah, that's it. That's the tour of SwanS0ng's Hunding's Palatial Palace, or Palatial Hall rather. Again, I think this property is really great. There were a couple small decorating flaws, a couple of floating objects, you know, but for the most part this house is well placed, it's well thought out, a great use of the space. You know, even if it is a little bit, in some spots there's a little bit of filler, but I think the thing SwanS0ng has done extraordinarily well is to make sure that there was room for some filler while still managing to have a wow factor in a few spots. And the exterior, which you come into first, is extremely inviting, and there's nothing about the house that ever like really turns you off or turns you away, which is, you know, really hard to accomplish in this property. This, in my opinion, is one of the hardest properties to decorate well, because the size to item ratio is horrendous. It's not favorable, especially if you opt to use the roof on this house, which so many do because it's there, it's easy to build access to it, and it's one of the few, if not only place where you can really build on the rooftop. It has a nice flat rooftop you can access. So it's something you want to do, and it's something you should want to do. Oh, so actually we did miss the one thing here. The wedding trellis out here on this walkway, which we'll get to really quick before I completely wrap this up. So yeah, drop down here. We do see the lanterns on those stones are floating just a touch. We walk up here, approaching the wedding trellis, and we see the wedding lantern, which is hanging, and appears to be hanging nicely. We've got the pillows set up here, and you can tell the pillows are all nicely placed. We've got the skooma bellway chilling in the middle. This is a place where you just sit, chill, reflect. but again, I really liked the way SwanS0ng utilized this space. I really like the rooftop garden. I like the way the vegetation's done on the exterior. I really love the hidden Dark Brotherhood room inside on that custom space that's normally an overlook into the throne room. So I really like that SwanS0ng utilized the extra spaces available in this house, did so without making the house feel completely empty, and just in general made things look very nice. This is a house that I feel is done in a way that's not completely extravagant and like completely extraordinary, but it's just done very, very, very nicely. And you know, and in a property like this, I cannot say it enough, the item limit is way, way too small for a property this size. So to pull off nice, neat, you know, and still having a wow factor in a property like this, it honestly is art, because it's so tough to do. So again, if you enjoyed this video, if you know you really like the way this house is decorated, you know, please leave a comment, leave some love for SwanS0ng. You know, if there's something about the quality of this video, you know, complain nicely at me in the comments. If you liked the way this video was done compared to previous ones I've done, like I know previously I used to be extremely jerky and move too quickly. If my camera work was better, please tell me about that too. Your feedback helps me make better videos. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you will tune in to whatever video comes next. Have fun.